it's so interesting that you mentioned King's List because this is the book I
Yes.
wanted to recommend
Yes.
to our viewers, and I know that you liked it. It's
Hmm.
Zondervan, a Handbook of Biblical Archaeology. I
Hmm.
actually skimmed and read some pages without just
Hmm.
skipping. Like I did like the first 100 pages, so I can be somewhat prepared better for today. And I
Hmm.
remember reading the chapter about the Sumerian King List, which is very interesting because you just
Yes.
mentioned it, and
Hmm.
the author mentioned who is Randolph Price. He
Hmm.
mentioned that the Bible talks about a couple of kings from the Sumerian Kings List, and of course they may not agree with
Hmm.
uh, the Bible and the Sumerian Kings List may not agree with the length of their lives
Hmm.
because one of the kings in that Sumerian list lived over 40,000 years. But
Yeah.
it also, but also the author made a comment that to this day we do not understand how Sumerians calculated years.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So that's something that, I get that question a lot from our youth group, and some adults in the church as well. Um, and wow, how did people end up living hundreds of years, before the flood? And there are different explanations. And one thing that I've just from my own research have started to speculate on lately is, well, how long's a year? Everyone has a different calendar system, and it wasn't until much later that they started understanding, like, well, what's a solar year versus a lunar year. And so before the first people discovered what a solar year was, how did they count years? I have no idea. That would be a wonderful area of research, and hopefully somebody will find some developments. That would be a discovery that I would be like, yes, we know it now, but we don't know yet. So yeah, like you're saying, I was glancing over the Sumerian King List this morning and saying, wow, this is not just hundreds of years. This is tens of thousands of years. This is wild. And what is a year anyway to them? So we don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah, and even though the oldest people mentioned in the Old Testament were up to 1,000 years, and here we see the cases of even up to 40,000.
Mhm.
Randall Price makes a statement that despite the difference, we can see how there's a commonality
Mhm.
between the Bible and the Babylonian religion.
Mhm.
I mean, there are more similarities in all these
Yes.
religions and mythologies, but even despite this difference, that you can see they had some common things or things in common, and this was one of them to um, not just calculate how how their important people, patriarchs or kings or whoever lived long, but also that it could be leading to the truth. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not buying 40,000 years, but that people had
Yes.
this longevity because of certain lifestyle and nature and maybe oxygen
Mhm.
more. And Christian scientists are
Uh-huh.
dealing more with it, so I'm not I cannot speculate too much or speak from my mind if I didn't study, so I don't want to sound ignorant. But I just found that interesting.